tomorrow, I'm doing 2 gameplay streams. And again, some people might say, well, Phil, you said you were going to do less streams. That is true. The reason I was going to do less streams is because I was streaming on YouTube, and YouTube streaming was not profitable, and people were not showing up for the streams. It's that simple. Things have changed. I'm now streaming on Twitch. More people are showing up for the streams, and even when a lot of people aren't showing up for the streams are proving to be profitable through things such as people subbing to the channel and through the cheering with bits. Every day that I streamed on Twitch, I've been making at least a pretty decent amount of money. So unlike YouTube, where, as I said before, when I stream on YouTube, I make almost nothing. I make like a couple bucks. Here, I'm actually starting to see some profit. So I will tough it out, and I will live stream all the time if I'm making profit. It just makes sense, okay? So yes, as of now, for the near future, I will continue to do multiple live streams and stream a lot.
As long as the interest is there and it is profitable.
If it changes, I'll let everyone know. But right now, everything's going hunky-dory. There's no reason for me to say, oh, well, I'm going to stop streaming, okay? Okay, Twitch is going great, okay? Like I said,
Twitch is profitable. I'm loving streaming on there, okay?
But I don't want people to lose vision here when it comes to Patreon, all right? Just because I'm doing great on Twitch doesn't mean I don't need your support on Patreon, all right? Now, in October, when I first announced my business wasn't doing so well, people flocked to my Patreon and did great, huge pledges, and everyone supported the heck out of me, and I had the record high amount of pledges for October. November, I saw a decline. Some people who had bigger pledges for that 1 month to try to help me lowered their pledges. Some people took away their pledges. Okay, I expected that. All right, and we still hit the goal, no problem, which means we're doing this multiplayer event coming up, and I'm excited for it. But now I've started to go back, and I'm
noticing, Patreon's going down a lot more.
And I just started looking, it went down $100, $200. I'm like, now wait a minute. Just because I'm not mentioning Patreon every day, especially on pre-streams this week, I've been so sick, I haven't even done a lot of plugs or anything. It doesn't mean that it's not important.
Patreon is allowing me to pay my bills.
And the fact that people give me such rousing support in October and November was great, but if people are going to withdraw that support now, then I'm going to be back in dire straits, back to square one. You know what I mean? And I think what happened, honestly, this month, is that a lot of people saw that I for the past week and a half, I've been streaming on Twitch, and I'm telling you, wow, doing good on Twitch, I'm getting bits, I'm getting subs, this is great, and people are thinking, oh, he's doing fine on Twitch, he doesn't need the patron support anymore, I'll reduce my pledge or get rid of my pledge.
No! I mean, I need that Patreon support, and I need this new Twitch. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to pay off all this debt. I'm trying to get my bills down and be able to fucking make ends meet here.
With this YouTube stuff, the way it's going, it's not going very well. I haven't talked a lot about YouTube recently. Hasn't been good. Even though we're at the busiest time of the year when I'm supposed to be making the most money on that I do during the year, I'm not. YouTube sucks. YouTube's fucked up. This is why all the big YouTubers are now making videos about how their views and subs are down and they don't understand it. It's like a disaster. I've been talking about this since the summer. It's only they took a little bit longer to figure it out because they're so big. They didn't realize they had money draining from their bank accounts like mine has been, okay? I need your support, and Patreon is very important. And I just want you guys and gals to understand.
This is important, that I still get the Patreon funding.
I need that to be consistent, because if Patreon funding is consistent, then I can look at my bills and say, wow, okay, I could pay this and pay this and pay this on this and this on this. And right now, I had a great month with Patreon, and I'm looking at Patreons going,
boo! I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not good, because I'm going to go to pay my bills, and I made hundreds of dollars less this month because everyone withdrew their Patreon pledges because they think I'm doing so great on Twitch. Please, please, please.
If you understand, if you like this content, you like the stuff I put out on YouTube, you like the streams, you like all the changes that I've been making, you want to see me succeed and keep doing it, please, Patreon, as little as $1 a month, all right? And I know that for some of you, okay, I gave Phil this one big pledge, and now I have to reduce it. I understand that. I'm not expecting people to come out and give me gigantic amounts of money every month. It's like I've said, the most successful people on Patreon are people who have a lot of people who give
$1 a month. Okay, a single $1 a month. If I could have 1,000 people giving me $1 a month, that would be insanely awesome.
And it would help so much financially. We're not there yet. Right now, I think there's a little bit over 200 people who are consistently pledging to my Patreon. If I could get that to 400 or 500, oh my god. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean. I don't mention it for a while, and all of a sudden, oh, people forgot, boom, and it plummets. And now we've got 2 weeks left till the end of the month. Excuse me. A little bit more than 2 weeks left till the end of the month. So it's not like it's desperate measures here, but I just want you to keep it in mind, all right? All right. Didn't really want to go too much into that, but I felt I had to because I saw this pattern recently, and I want to make sure that we nip it in the butt before all of a sudden all the Patreon funding falls out because people think, oh, he's doing so good on Twitch, he doesn't need it.
Oh, I need it, okay?
Since streaming has become profitable and entertaining and enjoyable for me, I've decided to keep streaming. Now, if this changes, if people get burnt out on the streams and they're not liking the streams, or if, you know, let's be honest here, if I'm streaming, 5-6 hours a day and I'm making $2 doing it, I'm probably not going to continue doing it. But so far, so good. Everything's been great. I cannot complain. Yesterday, actually, was incredible. I played Final Fantasy 15 for like 4.5... No, actually, I take it back. It was almost 5.5 hours. It was an elongated stream. And holy crap. I got a ton of new subs. I got a bunch of bits. Like, I was so pleased.
Patreon.
I'm a little worried. And the reason I'm worried is because in the past few weeks, I've noticed that my Patreon has lost hundreds of dollars of funding. Now, it would be one thing if I noticed that, like, 1 or 2 people who had large pledge amounts said, oh, well, I can't afford to do that this month, and they all lowered their pledge amount significantly. That would be one thing if, there was, like, 1 or 2 people who had, like, $50 pledges and they lowered it. That's not the case. What I actually noticed is that there's dozens of people who, for whatever reason, either withdrew their pledges or lowered their pledges.
And that's not good, because I need that Patreon support.
2 months ago, I mentioned to all of you how, unfortunately, my business is not doing so well. And the bottom line is it's YouTube. It's not you, it's YouTube. Because all the bigger YouTubers have come out and talked about this too. They said, what the hell? YouTube has less views than we're supposed to be getting. So less subs than we're supposed to be getting. And YouTube is refusing to take any responsibility, saying there's nothing wrong when there's
concrete evidence
from every YouTuber that this is happening. So obviously Google and or YouTube made some kind of a change to basically make YouTube less profitable for the content creators and did not disclose that information to anyone, probably because they're pocketing the money. That would be my guess. I mean, my honest guess is that they found a way for them to keep more money and fuck over the content creators. And they obviously don't want to be transparent about that because then they'd look like the dirty crooks that they are. So unfortunately, my business, hasn't been doing great, all right?
Now all of a sudden for December, it seems like every day I check and the Patreon funding's lower and lower and lower, and it's freaking me out.
Because the good news is I'm doing good here on Twitch, but that doesn't mean anything if I'm losing other funding that I already had. Like, wow, Twitch is great. People are coming out there watching. They're giving bits. They're subbing. This is amazing. And then I go look at Patreon, and I lost $100 today. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And I don't know if it could be that it's the time of year where a lot of people, you're tight on money. It's the holiday season, you're buying presents for people and everything. I understand that. Listen, I get that, okay? That's certainly not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
please don't take it for granted
that because I've returned to Twitch now, and Twitch seems to be going well, that I don't also need your other support that you've already been giving. I do.
I need that Patreon support.
And the other thing that people really don't realize, okay, is that Patreon allows me to basically get this funding with the least amount of loss. And what I mean by that is Patreon takes about 10%. So all the money that I get on Patreon every month, that I use for special events and perks and paying my freaking bills, Patreon keeps 10%. Twitch keeps 50% of every sub. Alright? So I just want you to think about that. Gee, should I give Phil $5 on Patreon or should I be a $5 sub on Twitch? Patreon helps me 40% more. Okay? Because they keep way less money. Twitch keeps a lot more money. Alright? It's just their business model. That's how they work. They take a lot of money. So, yeah. I mean, Patreon is the best way if you really want to support me, you want to allow me to keep doing this kind of video, this kind of stream, and you want to see me be successful in the long run. Patreon is the way to go. Alright?